Welcome, everybody. This is Dottie Berry coming to you from Blaine, Washington. We are here tonight with just an exciting panel on our Hangout. We are going to be talking about the alliance between 2Connect, a community of entrepreneurs, and MIG, the cell phone verified leads platform that is just one of the most dynamite platforms I've ever seen in marketing. I've been in marketing a long, long time. So anyway, I want to just get right down to it and let people be introduced to the gentleman who's the CEO of 2Connect, and that's Mr. David Griffiths, because I want to just ask him what was the significance and the importance he believes of this alliance with MIG, because we are really breaking new ground here. I mean, to have various companies, various MLM companies who are aligned with our 2Connect community, where we are building one team, one time, is nothing short of historic. And David, are you there?
I sure am.
Well, David, thanks so much for your vision in putting together 2Connect. I mean, I know many of us we're just worn out from having to build multiple teams with multiple companies, and to see companies like MIG and My Network One and CyberWealth 7 literally having the owners come in here and work together as a team within our community is absolutely extraordinary. So what really hit you about MIG that made you think, I've got to have these guys as part of our community?
Well, there's a number of things that actually come to mind real quick. Number one is the gentlemen that are involved with the ownership of the MIG are outstanding individuals, and those individuals have come to recognize the importance in what we are doing, and they've enveloped the concept and the idea as well. And we love that because exactly what MIG is talking about is the funnel system, the marketing system, the uniqueness of it, and being able to gather large amounts of individuals and turn them into high-quality leads and high-quality prospects for our 2Connect community. That's extremely important. And so being able to work with a quality group such as MIG and their founding fathers, per se, is absolutely earth-shattering in what we are trying to do. I mean, why not? We are a marketing company, and why not go after the best and the most unique opportunity out there? And that's what we found in MIG.
Hey, that's fantastic, David. Well, I wanted you to be able to come on and just welcome Dennis, because I know that you've got a prior meeting scheduled, but I appreciate you being on here for a moment. And is there anything you'd like to say before you have to sort of jet off to your other meeting?
Well, I just appreciate the idea of being able to be on this panel for a few minutes. We've got some other projects that we're working on right now, some extremely unique projects, and we're trying to get them all put together and in place for our May 3rd event. And I know Roger will probably address this here in just a few minutes, but thank you, Dennis. We appreciate your time. We appreciate your energy in putting all this together for you. You and I have been on the phone several times today, and thank you so much for your time and your energy into this, and we appreciate what you're doing.
Thank you, David.
Hey, thanks, David. And now I want to introduce Dr. Roger Bogert. Roger is just a fantastic person to work with. I mean, Roger, you have so much experience building teams in 27 countries all over the world. You are an icon in the industry of our network marketing and profession. I always love how you say, I am a professional in the network marketing world. And that really means a lot, a person of your stature, to say that. And obviously, you bring so much talent to the table. You know everybody. And to be able to put together the Presidential Leadership Council, which you have done for 2Connect, is really, I mean, I can't thank you enough. So I want to ask you, though, Roger, let's admit it, okay? You're the belly-to-belly guy, and this is a whole new world with this funnel stuff. What do you think about these funnels? I mean, you get a funnel, a done-for-you funnel, as part of your 2Connect membership. What is that going to mean for you and other of the belly-to-belly type people that are coming into this new age?
Well, thank you very much, Dottie, and I'm glad that David was on as well, and I'm especially honored and grateful to be with you and with Dennis Paul tonight. truly innovative people. The more I learn about you both and with David, the more I know that there is more to learn, and that's what's beautiful about this journey we call the life journey, the dash, right? So here, I'm excited about the fact that the other day, and I shared this with Dennis, I was speaking with somebody, and he said, we'd like to have you help us to build a network. We know you built one before, and it was global, and actually, it wasn't. It was kind of me, but it was because I had great mentors at the time, like you, Dottie. You know, I had great mentors, and I had great people to teach me the ropes, so to speak. And so they said, we want to involve you with moving our business forward. And I said, well, because we know that you can do it. I said, well, thank you very much for that. But I have something to share with you, and I shared this with Dennis. I felt so smug, you know, because I'm with you guys. And I said, well, we're not going to do it the way I used to do it. Well, what do you mean? They said, I said, because things have changed. Not only have I changed, the profession of network marketing has changed, and the ability to reach out globally has changed in an effective way. It's not just a matter of using the internet per se. It's a matter of using relevant tools that are easily understood for the most part, and are very, very effective cell phone, smartphone verifiable connections, and monitoring of the people that you want to reach. So all of this technology, I felt so great to be able to have that knowledge, because knowledge isn't power, it's the use of knowledge that's powerful. And I can't think of a person, two people better to espouse on that philosophy about the use of knowledge than you, Dottie, and of course our guest tonight, Dennis Paul. I'm just honored to be with both of you.
Hey, thanks, Roger. And you know, I see that one of our PLC members has joined us. Cheryl, are you there? Well, I thought she had jumped on. Anyway, Dennis, I'm going to introduce you and just thank you, first of all. You know, I've been in marketing a long time, but I have to be real honest. I've never had a cell phone verified lead system. I wish for something like that, but you know, I still love some of the email that I can do. And let's face it, there's a place for all of this together in these components. And so many of the funnels start out asking for somebody's name and their email. And as we know, some people will give it, and some people might put Donald at Donald Duck. That's just the truth of the matter. But when they get to that next piece of the funnel, and we have information that somebody wants, they're going to have to give us their cell phone number in order to get that information. That's invaluable. And guess what? If they don't want to do that, they don't have to, but that's a great filtering system. I mean, I don't know about everybody listening to this, but I would much rather filter out the people who aren't interested in talking to me about what I have to offer. I mean, isn't that it at the end of the day? Connecting up with people who want to talk to you about the similar things. I mean, that's really what we're trying to do in marketing. And Dennis, you all, with Nelson and Jeff, the other co-owners of MIG, have brought it to a new level. Tell us a little bit about why you initially thought MIG was the way to go. As we get into, just to let people know, we're going to give some overview that you're going to give, and we're going to get into the comp plan so that people can really understand. As you bring people into to connect, and that is the goal, to get the leverage of our community, then they're going to be offered MIG as one of the income opportunities. So it's important that you know what kind of income you can make. But what got you going down this path, Dennis?
Well, first of all, thank you, Donnie, Roger, Cheryl, David. Thanks again for the warm welcome. It's a very exciting time. Obviously, ToConnect has a tremendous amount of value to bring to the marketplace, and we feel really good about having caught early on that wave and being able to contribute our little piece of that puzzle to make sure that this is as aggressive in terms of helping as many people as possible and bringing a lot of value to the table. As far as MIG and how we started down that path, my partners and I, we all have a business background. We're primarily entrepreneurs. We're business people. Mm-hmm. We each, aside from that, have our own areas of expertise where we've certainly honed over the past several decades. In my case, it has to do with marrying technology and business. So I'm at heart an entrepreneur. I've always been that for the past 30 years. So what I bring in addition to that is the ability to build a bridge between entrepreneurship and technology. Not in terms of a coding, I'm not a coder per se, but I do see clearly how do we leverage technology to make business run more effectively, how to increase the bottom line, how to reach out to people, build a relationship, and do it on a global scale, which nowadays you can't really do as effectively without technology. So being able to marry those two components, a real desire and a passion for business, and as well a means to be able to optimize the functioning of that business through technology, that has opened up a whole new world for us over the past several years. We've been working together with my partners. In this particular case, what we've done is we've tackled probably one of the most critical pieces, I think, from a marketing perspective, which you were alluding to, Dottie, which is I need to be able to speak to the right people at the right time. In the past, if you didn't have a big enough list, you want to talk to everyone you can. Nowadays, with internet, it's so easy to build a list that's large but somewhat meaningless at times, just because of the sheer volume and lack of time to follow up with everybody. It's almost the reverse of what it was. Before, you didn't have enough people to talk to, and now there's just so many people around on the internet, and emails are freely flowing, and you can buy lists and such that if you don't have an easy way to filter, sort, sift, and identify who really you want to build a relationship with and build a business with, then you're going to spend a lot of your time chasing your tail. So we ended up applying technology to solve that issue. And again, all geared from a business perspective. It's not about the shiny object. It's not about the cool widget or that there's a new way to do things, but rather, can we do something that brings real value to the business person, to the marketer? And since we are one of those people, it was very much a self-serving mechanism. What do we do to be able to reach out to people in the most effective way? So MIG basically came out because of that need. Mobile marketing obviously is the next big wave where things are going, and that's where we saw a lot of value as well. If we can deliver a mobile-friendly environment where you can interact with people, and as you said earlier, collect their cell phone information and verify all that, it brings you so much closer to be able to have a true beginning of a relationship and a dialogue with someone. And we can show you how that works in a little bit if you like, but and overall, our mission is to help people market better, help them have less expenditure in terms of time, effort, money, and opportunity loss that could come about by not having the right people to talk to.
That's great, Dennis. You know, it's really funny. I'm getting ready to shoot a video called Marketing Systems is the New Gateway Drug. Because honestly, I see so many people ODing, becoming overwhelmed with marketing systems. And I shot one the other day too, is about what it takes to be great in this. And what it really takes is finding the right system and sticking with it. Because I see so many people running from one system to another, but they never learn the one that they had or utilize it to the max. And when people ask me, when should I add one, I go, not until you're maximizing whatever you're doing. Because at the end of the day, it's like if you have a Ferrari, okay? That's a great car, but guess what? If you don't put gas in it and you don't know how to drive, it's really not going to get you anywhere. So you have one of the best marketing systems I've ever seen because of that ability to filter. And I am going to drill down with your system till I know everything about it, how to utilize it, to drive that traffic, to connect, and and offer to other people, as you're going to share with us, who have other types of businesses. Great, great, great. But I'm really just fascinated by what you all have developed, because I don't know of anything else out there like this. I mean, I honestly don't.
We haven't found something either that's equivalent, which is why, again, we went off and built it. We're not in the business of building tools for the sake of tools.
Yeah.
If something's out there that works, we want to use it. We're marketers. We want to use the best thing that the market has to offer. And if it doesn't exist just yet in the flavor we think would work best, then we'll go and build it because we have that ability. And that's where the MIG Mobile Leads ASAP program came into being.
Yeah, because there are a lot of similar programs out there. And I tell people, look, some of those will work for whatever you're doing, but you have to work it. This is something that, to me, is worth sticking with. So go ahead and take us for a test run to help us better understand, I should say, exactly what MIG offers.
Okay, that'd be great. So let me do this. I'm going to share a screen with you, okay? So that we
Okay,
can
great.
go through and flip through a couple of slides pretty quick, and that might help us streamline this somewhat.
As you're doing that, I'm going to see if Cheryl was ever. Cheryl, are you there? Are you just being a pretty face? Well, Cheryl, we're glad to have you anyway, even if you can't say anything. This is Miss Cheryl Bassett. I mean, this lady is amazing, out of Ohio, and she's part of our Presidential Leadership Council. And I'm going to encourage everybody to get to Columbus May 3rd, where we're going to be having a 2Connect event. And Roger will probably be telling you more about that at the end. But back to you, Dennis, so that you can screen share with us.
Okay, cool. So let's do that. And just let me know if you can see my screen, okay?
Yes, I can.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so we'll just do a very quick run through here. So MIG, or MIG, stands for My Insider's Guide. The objective was to really give people the behind-the-scenes look as to what companies are doing to be successful nowadays with either new technology or a new approach to the marketplace. And ASAP, which normally stands for as soon as possible, in our case really means Autopilot Systems for Accelerated Profits. So that kind of summarizes overall what we're going after. We're looking to pull back the curtain, reveal what's really working behind the scenes, all with the intention of delivering accelerated profits to the marketplace. So within that, the MIG platform itself was designed specifically for mass use. It's not intended for people who have necessarily a high degree of technical skill. As long as you can point and click, you'll be able to use this. So we had very specific objectives with that. Again, we're not building a tool just to be a high-end tech tool, but rather to really be used by people in business. And most people who are truly in business, they don't have the time to become experts with computers. They know their business, they know what they have to go do to make their business succeed, and they're just looking for a better way to do it that's going to help them lower their costs and increase their profitability. So in any case, copy, paste, point and click, that's all you really need to do. Now, a key component to this, what we want to deliver, is the ability to provide laser-targeted leads. Now, we hear a lot about leads in the marketplace, and you can buy all kinds of lists, and there are many vendors out there. Many of them are good, and some are not. It all depends what you're trying to accomplish. In our case, again, we were not trying to go after building a massive list, but building a list that is highly qualified, and then building strong relationships with the people on that list. So by having, in our case, a cell phone verification system, means that we're able to identify a prospect as they come through the funnel, engage with them initially, provide them a certain amount of value through video and images and content, and have them qualify themselves as whether they want to know more about what we're speaking of at that moment. So by doing that, they essentially put in their cell phone number, they verify it, and then we're able to have an ongoing dialogue with them. Until they actually verify their cell phone.
Can I stop you just a second? I mean, 'cause some people, I don't want to assume that everybody's experienced this before, but just as a parallel, if somebody has to verify like a Gmail account, it will send them a code, and then they put that in there. I'm trying to compare it to something they might have already experienced, you know, because
right.
For us to, it makes sense to us, but sometimes people have really not experienced that. So even if they haven't experienced it with Gmail, they probably know what Gmail is, you know what I'm saying? And
right.
If you make any changes in your Gmail account, it's going to send you a code and by text, and then you're going to put that code in before you can move forward. And that's the same thing that you're doing.
Correct, with the purpose of verifying that the audience is truly indeed who they say they are, and that they do want to communicate with us, right? And you'll see a sample of that in a second. Once we have that cell phone number, it becomes incredibly valuable because now you're able to communicate with your prospects not just through email, but you can pick up the phone and call them if you like, which is always recommended as a follow, especially if they're a qualified prospect, and also leverage SMS technology. And just as a statistic out there, SMS messages typically get open roughly 80% of the time within 3 to 5 minutes of having been sent out. So it's an extremely high open rate in a very timely manner. So that's something that is very valuable to a marketing person, and especially having the name and the phone number of the person, that it's a true verified piece of data and not just a random email, which may or may not have value. And besides, unfortunately today, with so much email going out, most of the email that gets sent out from a marketing perspective just sits either in spam or just sits floating around until they eventually maybe get to it, or they just simply clean out their inbox. So cell phone verification and SMS technology is a real key. The other piece we built into this is not just the filtering process, which you'll see in a second in a quick sample, but also being able to clearly monitor what parts of the content provided through the funnel are being consumed, meaning what are people engaging with. That means you're able to follow the money in essence. What is the money trail? What are they interested in? What should you be following up with? What topics do you think will raise an eyebrow when you follow up with them either in person, via email, or SMS? It'll tell you the who, the what, the when, and the where, as well as being able to help with that information identify your best prospects.
So
the way that
essentially, Dennis, you get to kind of tweak your funnels as you go along with that feedback.
That's correct. You tweak your funnels, you're able to tweak your conversations, you're able to better prepare material, content, and actual deliverables that your audience will not only appreciate but value and then take action with. So in terms of the reporting that's on the back end, we're able to collect information such as obviously when they visited and what time, but also which of the pages did they go through, what time did they go through them, did they watch the videos, did they not, what phone number did they put in, did they verify their phone number, and pretty much all the steps throughout, so you're able to really easily gauge who should I be spending my time with and with whom probably not, or do it in a more automated manner. But if you're getting 10,000 people coming through your site, you're probably going to want to drill down to the top 1%, which are your hottest prospects. And being able to receive that information, whether you're at your computer, on your mobile device, or via email, makes it extremely flexible as well. So with this kind of information, a marketer essentially has the equivalent of a crystal ball, or you're looking over someone's shoulder as they're clicking, and you receive instant notification as they take an action, so you know the perfect time to contact these people back. So from a marketing standpoint, that's, I think, pretty outstanding, because most folks don't know when to follow up.
Yeah.
Is it too soon? Is it too late? Have I given them enough time to watch information? Have they even watched information? And we're often having to guess, right? And we'll call someone up and say, did you watch the video? And they'll say yes, possibly, even if they haven't. Well, with the kind of data we're collecting, you know exactly what happened. So,
oh my goodness, they may, and you know what? That's a filtering system in and of itself. Maybe they don't even know that you can tell, and they say yes, and it was really no, they didn't. I mean, you can get a sense of what kind of people you want to be in business with.
Well, that's exactly it, right? So you can filter right from the get-go as far as who you want to spend more time with and who perhaps you want to have more of an automated approach or a follow-up. So two things so far are key. One, be able to filter your leads. The second, be able to really give a value point, let's say, to your leads, so you know who to follow up with, and then the timing of it, immediacy. If you just clicked on the link that says contact me now, or you just watched the video that you know is a hard-hitting video where you really put the value out there, and I get an instant notification letting me know that John just viewed that video and I have his cell phone number, what a great coincidence to pick up the phone and call him right at that moment. Right as he's watching the video, you can call him and follow up. I mean, it's the best timing. You're top of mind with the individual. They're looking at your content, absorbing it. They took an action, and their phone happens to ring. It's a wonderful coincidence.
Dennis and Dottie.
Yeah.
Hey, Dennis and Dottie. You know, we were talking earlier about belly to belly, and what we used to do in the olden days, you'll get a kick out of this, Dennis, probably you as well, Dottie. We used to give people a blank CD or a blank DVD, and on purpose. And then we'd say to them a day or so later, well, how did you enjoy the DVD? Oh, it was great. Right? Like Dottie said, you know who you're dealing with that right out of the chute.
Yeah, I mean, you know, that's a good thing. I mean, talk about filtering. Dennis, I think you've made some great points, you too, Roger, with that, because it is so massive today that I think that's why people get overwhelmed, not only with so much out there, which way to go, and then all the information. The more you can drill it down. Think about this. If you were only talking every day with the people who wanted to be in business with you, how valuable would that be? And talk about time freedom, because most people have time freedom, you know, as the #1 thing they want, you know, in their lives. And that's incredible to be able to have that kind of tool where we're really, it's about niching it down now. And
Yep.
I work on things all the time, niching it down. That's great, Roger. Thanks, Dennis.
So the next piece we will look to solve, again, looking at it from strictly as a marketer, it's like if I have great leads now, and if I'm able to follow up at the perfect timing with those folks, that's great for me. But for our industry, duplication is the next key component here, right? Because no matter how good we can do individually, unless we can show a team how to do it themselves and have that effect replicate throughout, then you don't really have a scalable business. So we built in replication into the system as well.
Mm-hmm.
And essentially with that, you're able to simulcast your content across an entire team base, no matter where they may be situated geographically. Helps everyone look really good with very little effort. So
Dennis, that's what we're doing tonight. You know, just to kind of interject here, we have done for you funnels that MIG has created as part of the 2Connect memberships. And some of those are Hangout funnels. So the very Hangout that we're doing right now is in that funnel, and people were able to send that out if they wanted to other people and invite. So if you're watching via one of those funnels, you're actually experiencing MIG. And I think that's great.
No, you're absolutely right. And you'll see how those get set up in literally 2 minutes or less. So the replication happens automatically. There's nothing you really need to do. And in very few cases will you actually have to put any information at all. The entire thing builds itself with the replicated model. And that allows any team leader who has the ability to put together some simple images or can pick a good video from YouTube and simply assemble a couple things, no techie requirements, nothing more than point and click, and have your entire team be able to instantly replicate your efforts and your success, that's a very positive thing. And it's all built into the same platform. So the process, again, really simple, and no matter how large your team, whether it be a couple of people or a couple of 100,000 people, the technology itself will support that. And by being able to leverage the best of Google Hangouts, Facebook commenting, putting in the checkpoints, the filtering, the cell phone verification, and all the data tracking, it turns out to be a very comprehensive yet easy to use system for marketers. So just as a high level, again, quick and easy, laser targeted leads, real-time statistics, and simulcasting. That's pretty much at its core what the system delivers. And what's very unique about a relationship with 2Connect is that we actually took this infrastructure and we bundled it in with the 2Connect platform so that every member, every paid member who's coming into 2Connect, they will be able to take advantage from day one exactly this kind of a funnel system tailored for the 2Connect story. And that comes built in right with their membership. And that, I think is proof of concept or proof of the pudding as far as our true belief in this model and what 2Connect is trying to do. And obviously we want to see it succeed, and everyone's going to have a lot of advantage from that, and we're looking to make sure that we're delivering the best tools that will help all marketers of all sizes and all levels of experience really go out there and do something phenomenal.
So Dennis, speaking about the funnels here, you've got a new one coming out for 2Connect that's going to literally tell the whole 2Connect story, right? And
that's correct.
Any heads up on when that might be coming out?
Yes, actually we're going to be reviewing it. Last reviews are this week, middle of this week. So by the end of the weekend, people should already have those in hand. We're tweaking some of the videos, but its purpose is really now to put out to the marketplace the story, the 2Connect story, and do it in such a way where the typical questions that a person may have, or the excitement that we want to convey to people as far as why this is so important, what it's going to really do to change their business and change their future outcome, package all that into a simple funnel that's a step-by-step process. So there's a really good teaser video up front. It's about a 3-minute piece that really is very compact and talks about the story. In the second page, it's going to really be some of the high-end leaders within the company talking about, again, what they see in 2Connect and the vision and the mission behind that. And on the third page, we're going to actually, and this is something we're going to be rolling out tonight so everyone can participate, but on the third page, it's going to essentially be the PLC members giving a very short piece on why 2Connect was for them, what they see in it, what personally do they expect this to help them change in terms of their business, and how, as a PLC member, they're looking to reach out and help people in the community. because that's what we're there to do, essentially. So I think it'll be very dynamic. It'll, again, filter people all the way through. And because of how it's being constructed, it'll make it where the person watching it, if they watch it to that point, they're ready to go. They're ready to sign up. They'll be able to go through that process and then take action and become part of the community right away.
And so essentially, the way the story gets told, I mean, all we're going to be doing is like helping them get moving forward and sign up and so forth. So, I mean, that's great.
Well, you asked earlier about a telemarketing piece, and that's an important component as well, because not everyone's comfortable picking up the phone, maybe not initially, and through training and et cetera, they'll be able to do so as well if they choose. But we're looking to actually package into this not only a traffic source where there'll be a traffic co-op, so that everyone, whether or not they have the personal abilities to bring traffic themselves, will be able to participate in a company-wide co-op, so that everyone can leverage lower costs just through the volume. And at the same time, on the back end of that, regardless of how good the funnel may be, and certain people will sign up automatically, but for the most part, we're trying to build a relationship, right? We want to reach out to people and help them make the right kind of decisions and go through the right kind of steps. Because ultimately, this is a business. For them, it's a business. And to treat it as such, they have to understand it to be as such. And the steps are relatively simple. They have to first agree that the concept works for them, and if they agree to the concept and they embrace it, then they have to essentially sign up with 2Connect. They have to pick a company and build their team. And for each of those steps, there's a small action they have to take. So we're looking at this as having 3 follow-up points. You watch the video, you put information in, the cell phone is ready to go. You've clearly identified yourself as someone who needs to take a next step. Well, then the member, the 2Connect member, will have the choice of either picking up the phone themselves and calling, or having a telemarketing center call on their behalf to help that person take that step and sign up as a paid member into 2Connect. Once they've done that, the next step in the sequence is, great, now there are a lot of opportunities here. Which one is probably best fit for you? That's a short dialogue as well. It's not a sale. We're not trying to sell them on a specific opportunity, but rather they've already made a decision to come into 2Connect. And if they've made that decision, it's because they expect to join the company. Otherwise, there is no revenue to be made for themselves.
Right.
So really, the person calling them up, whether it be the member or the telemarketing center, is just to lay out that path, to show them where to go, and to prompt them as to how to make that first initial step. And then the third follow-up piece to this is where, again, the member or the telemarketing center will essentially say, your next step now is to build your team. If you have a list, here are the scripts, here's the university, what you have to go do, what you have to say, where you have to take them to. If you don't have a list, we'll teach you how to build one. If you don't have a list and don't think you can learn, or don't have the time to learn, or simply not ready to learn, and then you can go ahead and use this automated process, from purchasing a traffic co-op package all the way through to the 3 levels of telemarketing follow-up. So this can truly become a fully turnkey system, depending on how much hands-on involvement a specific member may or may not want, or may not be able to do based on their timing or experience.
Dennis, this is the no excuses system. I mean, what excuse is somebody going to have now? So all we have to do then is work on mindset. That yes, it's
That's
okay
correct.
for you to succeed. Yes, it's okay for you to succeed. No, seriously, this sounds fantastic. I really believe that this, like 2Connect, is a dream that people have had. In terms of marketing, this is a dream that people have had because they've been taught in the past the old model, and I'm not saying that old in the sense that it never worked. It did work for a lot of people, but going to friends and family and things like that was just no longer proven to be a model that the majority could be successful with. So through this model, I think more people can be successful, and that's really what it's all about. So let's speak for a moment about another aspect, which we've been talking about. MIG as funnels for 2Connect. With your membership, you get different funnels at different levels of membership. But on the other side of this, as you said, the only way you can make an income via the community is to choose one of those opportunities. And that can be MIG, that can be CyberWealth 7, that can be My Network 1. It will be more in the future. It can be all of them or just one of them. But if they choose MIG as one of those opportunities, for example, help us understand the kind of income that can be generated and what steps people should take.
Okay. Before I jump into that, let me just show you quickly, because I think we've had some folks as well who had questions regarding, I get what MIG does, maybe as the value, but is it really that easy? Because if it's that easy to set up, I can see others using it. And if others can use it, I can see the revenue coming in.
Yes.
So let me just quickly show you that
That'd
so
be great.
everyone can get an idea how that works. Okay. Let me
And
just,
Dennis, maybe as you're showing that, that's great, because I was thinking earlier when you were speaking about following the trail, maybe as you show that ease, you can also show how the trail would be followed in one of them.
Yes, exactly.
So they can really see that, because hearing about it and seeing it, as we know, are two different things.
You're exactly right. Okay, let me know if you can see my screen.
I can, but it's me. Okay, there you go.
Okay, so I'm going to zoom in a little bit so everyone can see a little bit more of this. I'm assuming you're looking at the browser, is that right?
Yes, if you can, yeah, there you go. Bumping it up more is good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Let's do that. All right, great. So, for example, I logged in currently as a 2Connect member test account. Now, so if you're coming in as a 2Connect member for the first time, you probably won't have a funnel listed here. You'll simply click on Add a Funnel. You'll pick a company. In this case, 2Connect is what's listed there ready
Dennis,
for you.
can we just remind them about their login while we're doing this, since we're but go ahead.
That's good. Well, let's go do that. Let's assume, for argument's sake, that, and you know what, Dottie, let me just switch back to full screen. It'll be easier, I think, for everyone to see, okay?
Okay.
So let me do this, and... Because
sometimes, you know, people just got a little bit confused and they were logging in at the wrong place.
Yep, not a problem. Can you see my my desktop now, my screen?
Yes.
Okay, great. So if you're at the MIG Mobile Leads ASAP site, there's a small login below. For argument's sake, if your 2Connect username happened to be, let's say, test, okay, this is the account that I set up. Okay, if you're going to try to come into your pre-built funnel system that comes with your 2Connect membership, to your existing 2Connect username, you're simply going to add 2KM. And you can think of that as 2Connect member. So 2KM Test John, because all 2Connect members get a free funnel system, right? So it's simply 2KM and then your 2Connect username. If you have not come into your account before, you'll use the same 2KM username as your password as well. And then you can change it once you're inside, okay? So that's how you get into this particular account. It's 2KM as a member and then your 2Connect username. Now, once you log into the system, you'll see either a few rows of data here or none if it's your first time. You simply click on Add Funnel, and we're not going to go through a whole tutorial, this will be very quick, but you simply go to Add Funnel, you pick 2Connect from the list of companies, and you have 3 little boxes to fill out. You give this a name. I'm just going to call this Test John 01. That'll be the name of my funnel, and it's just so I can remember this visually when I see it on my list. The keyword is simply, what do I want to show up at the tail end of the URL? So you get to personalize your link to your funnel. So in this case, mine is going to read mig247.com/testjohn01. So if I click on Save, it tells me that's my new address. And the only thing I have to do now is pick which funnel system do I want to simulcast or replicate. And we have currently 4 choices here. So if I want to immediately launch the 2Connect overview funnel, I want to be able to use that, simply paste in the code and click on Simulcast Now. And as soon as I've done that, at that point, the system is all set up. And I just have to type it in here. Okay.
And I tell you, Dennis, it doesn't get any easier than that. Trust me, from somebody who's used multiple systems along the way, this is so easy. Roger, you can do that, can't you? He loves it.
So this is how it works now. We made a few changes even overnight, and you'll see a few new things in here. But essentially, your funnel's done. You don't have to do anything else at all. You can take this link right now that we have here, and we're going to go to a separate browser. and we're just going to run through it as a guest. So I'm coming in, and I'm putting in the URL I just saw. It's going to prompt me now for an email address, so I'll put that in. And again, this could have been, as Dottie said, something even as donaldduck.com, because emails are that unreliable in a way. So I'll just put here Donald. Okay, so the email's in place, but the next step is going to actually walk me now through a process where it's going to show me the 2Connect video, and below that, it's going to say, you know what, here's our story. If you like what's there, we have a really good offer for you. Come on inside, and if you want to get that free offer, you have to put in your cell phone number. So even if they try to move ahead from this point, they can't. It's not going to let them until they put their cell phone number in. And once they put that number in, whatever that number may be, they're going to receive an SMS message to their cell phone, and they have to put in the code here. Again, if they don't put the code in, they can't do anything at all. Now I'm switching back to the to us as a 2Connect member to see what reporting comes back. So I'm going back to the list. I can see here my Test John funnel that I just set up. I can see that one lead came in, which is the one that I'm working on in the other browser. And if I click on that, I can already see some progress. Here's Donald. He already came in. I see the email address he put in. I see the phone number they put in. Now, I put in a dummy number, right? And this is a new way we built in here for you to test with your own account. Since it's a dummy number, you're not going to receive it on your email. But right above here, there's a little link for the PH. That'll give you the access code that you received or would have received to your cell phone had it been real. In this case, it's 27AD, it says. So this is my report. It's going to show me step by step. Did someone put in their email? Did they put in their cell phone? Did they verify their cell phone? Did they visit any other page inside the funnel or not? Okay? And up in this point, all I did was put in my cell phone. I did not verify it at all yet. If I flip back to the other browser and I put in that code, I forget what it was now, 27AD. Okay, I'm back at the other browser. I'm going to put in the code as if I had received it on my phone, click on Access, and now I'll be taken to the next page where I'll be able to see the next piece in that funnel system. And this can contain any image, any video, anything we like, and including calls to action. The Start Now will take me to my 2Connect personal website, and this other button will take me to more details. So let's just stop there. We're not going to go further into that. But this is my report as an end user, right, as a member of 2Connect. If I simply refresh this, I can see now that the phone was verified. And if I were to go back here and click on one of these buttons, which will take me now to my 2Connect page, and I go view the report stats and refresh it, it'll tell me that I clicked on that as well.
Wow.
Literally, it's a blow-by-blow, what happened, what did Donald do, what time did he do it, how far did he go, did he verify his phone, yes or no, and if he did verify his phone, and if he is in the US, I can send him an SMS text message right away, and he would receive it right at that moment. Okay? So it's very powerful that way. And there's one thing you haven't seen in here yet, Dottie, which we just added earlier today, in fact. To the far right of this, there's a status and a date link. You can actually keep track of your comments in here now as you're following up with members, prospects.
Awesome.
Right from here, you can just click on the link where it says none because there is no status assigned to this person just yet. Change the status to whatever you want it to be. Maybe you left them a voicemail or something, and you put whatever notes you want in here. Doesn't matter how long it is. Just type in and click on Save. And once you do that, and just refresh your report, now you have your status, whatever you gave it, plus the date when you last updated that record. Okay, so now it has a built-in mini contact manager as well, so you're able to actually keep track of each of your leads and what the current status is of that lead in terms of your notes and your follow-up. Okay?
Hey, Dennis, I just got to say to anybody who's listening, if you have ever felt overwhelmed by attempting to learn about what I call integration marketing versus internet marketing, but you know what I'm saying, and if you've ever felt that, this is, again, as easy as it gets. If you won't do this, then you don't need to do internet marketing, right?
Well, I mean, you know how easy it was to set up the funnel. It was just literally one click, right? I mean, add a funnel, put a code in. Now, you're asking to segue into the compensation piece. You're also asking about, well, what happens if you want to perhaps market above and beyond that, or if you have folks who want to market above and beyond, and not just use the free version that comes built into the 2Connect membership, but the more robust version that lets you really now build your marketing machine to however you like for whatever company you like. So let's go into that account.
Because
So
Dennis, I have the highest version, so I get to create 15 custom funnels,
That's correct.
and so that's great because I was already a business person, well, for 30-something years, and so I want to be able to utilize things like this.
Yep, absolutely. If you are a MIG affiliate, you remember, if you recall, to log into your 2Connect members funnel, you put 2KM and then your username, correct?
Uh-huh.
If you are trying to come into your MIG affiliate account, just get rid of the M. That's 2K
Okay.
and then your username. That's pretty much all you got to do, okay?
That's easy enough.
Now you're in your affiliate version of the system. It's got additional tools, additional things going on, but just as a very quick piece here, I'm going to build a brand new funnel for an outside company, because let's assume I'm working with someone where they want to market something else. I want to bring them into 2Connect so they can come and run with the companies within 2Connect, but my prospect happens to be in another business as well, right, already.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to help address that. So let's assume in this case that person happens to be with Sokai, I think it's how you pronounce it. So let's assume they're with there. I'm just going to put here a name, call it X01, let's say, and put that there and say, okay, great. My funnel now is ready to go. I need to put some content in. We're going to create one simple page here, a cell phone verification page. So I'm going to click on Edit, and it's really easy to do, and you just follow along with me for a second. I need an image to put at the banner at the top of the page. So I do a Google search. I find a bunch of images for that company. I find one that I like, perhaps. Click on View Image, copy the URL from the top, and paste it in here. Maybe I want to add a video so it brightens up the page somewhat. I'll go to YouTube. I'll look for that same company, perhaps, pull up a video, grab their ID at the top, the video ID, and all these have little tutorials built into the system for you, and just paste that in here.
But really, this is simple, Dennis. I mean, if anybody has any experience out there to really grasp how easy this is why I love it.
So we put two little pieces of data here, a header URL for an image and a video ID from YouTube. That's it, right? Okay, so if I were to say save this page, and then let's go back to the funnel and simply now say, you know what, this page I just created, I want to actually publish it. I want to activate it. Okay, so now we're done. If I were just to go with this URL to my other browser and pull it up.
And just so people know, when we're saying other browser, it means like if you created it in Chrome, go to Safari or go to Firefox, because you have to be in something different in order to be able to go through and test it. And you always want to test your funnels.
So we just put together this funnel very quickly. It's got the image we chose, it's got the video we chose in the middle of the page, and it's got the cell phone verification built in already automatically. And there was really hardly anything you had to do to make that happen. It's a very, very simple process. If you want to dress up the page further, just pick some other image you like.
Yeah, absolutely.
And just pop that into the page, and you're pretty much done. So it really doesn't get much easier than this to build something out where you're not a techie, you're not worrying about any kinds of line of code whatsoever. You're simply, picking an image you like and pasting it in. And if you want to add Facebook comments, you can do that just with one click as well. So let's go check that one out just so you can see what we just changed here. Okay, so we have the same top part of the image, but now we have the cell phone verification, we have a Facebook commenting already ready to go, and we added more content to the page. I mean, it took me less than a minute to put together a good-looking page that actually has rich functionality built right into it.
You make everybody look like a professional. I love it.
Okay, so that's as far as that goes. So let's talk about then the compensation piece, right? And let me just get off.
Well, yeah, because if people come in as a 2Connect paid member and they have this great funnel and they're building their 2Connect community, we all have to then make our choices of companies. I wanted all three, right. So that's what I did.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to have multiple streams. The reality today is very similar to what happened with traditional jobs, where in the past you would look for stability. You would look to join a company, work with them, build a history, possibly retire with that company.
Uh-huh.
Well, then we moved into the MLM industry so we can diversify and be our own boss. Unfortunately, a similar process is happening to the MLM industry. Before, you could pick a company that possibly had longevity. And pick one of the traditional names out there, whether it be an Amway, an Herbalife, or anyone like that, 10, 20, 30 years out there in the marketplace, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, nowadays, the same kind of compression that happened to the traditional jobs is happening in this industry, where no matter how good a company looks today, whether it be due to regulations, financial situation, or anything else, you're not sure if that company will be around in 2 years, 3 years, or 24 months for that matter. So if you're going out and trying to build one team within that one company and putting all your eggs in that one basket, it's high risk, just because everything has evolved. So that's where, again, your approach of going into multiple companies makes total sense, and that's exactly what 2Connect does. From our perspective, because in addition to a tools provider, we actually structured a network marketing compensation system into the MIG platform as well. Again, trying to benefit marketers as a whole, not only as a tool, but as a way to also generate income with the tool. And because it's a tool that any marketer can use, it opens up the doors to pretty much every industry you like. So,
yeah, whether you're offline or online, I mean, this is the thing. An offline business today needs an online presence. I mean, that's why they have Facebook pages and various things. They need to still be found.
That's right. I mean, we found in traditional network marketing, it's always tough to knock on someone's door and try to sell them on your opportunity. The way we packaged MIG, basically you can knock on someone's door, not even talk about your opportunity, and talk about helping them generate more leads for their current business, which gives them a better chance of listening to what you have. And then because of the compensation plan built into our business as well as the other companies within 2Connect, it opens them up to come and explore that as well. So with MIG, we want to give everyone the advantage of a relatively quick path to income profitability. So we did that by putting in place a 100% commission structure. So there's only one fee that comes to MIG, and it's used to cover all the infrastructure costs. It's a flat fee per month, no matter how many folks join your team, and no matter how many companies you work with in terms of building funnels for them. So it's $24.95. It's a flat fee again for your membership. Other than that, any fee that's paid on top for the funnels or for the systems is 100% commissionable to the rep, to the member. So, for example, there's a $50 level, there's a $100, and a $200 level. So if I'm at the 50 and I bring someone in, I'm going to receive 100% commission of that person's membership fee. So it means I'm able to recover my cost of my own funnel system with my very first member. And that's great because anyone doing business wants to reduce their costs as quickly as possible and get into the black as quickly as possible, right? From a team builder's perspective, we built in a pass-up model so that as you're helping your team grow, they in turn will provide you with additional income streams because they'll be passing up their second, fourth, 10th, and every fifth thereafter. So that lets you not only now focus on building a large team yourself, but mostly doing the work of helping others succeed. And I think that's a key component as well, because one person can only rely on themselves for so long. You want a team around you. You want to inspire others and help others. And in this case, you're going to help them make a good amount of profitability.
Hey, so Dennis, let me ask you real quick. I got to ask Roger. Hey, Roger, have you ever heard of a comp plan that could be explained that easily?
No. Not really.
I mean, that's a new one, right? Usually the comp plans are so, just complicated that people can't really understand them. And so they don't know what to do. But I think that's pretty easy, Roger, don't you?
Well, it wasn't Dennis and Jeff and Nelson didn't try to retrofit a comp plan in. They just made it as it is, and a lot of times you can get so deeply embroiled in compensation plans that it requires a master's degree in comp plans to understand. I know for several companies like Melaleuca, I mean, I looked at that and I was with the #1 income earner, Eddie Bastoza, down in Florida, and I like glazed over. It was like, oh my word. I mean, there was a different level every time you sneezed. I mean, it was unbelievable.
Yeah.
So this is much, much better.
Well,
Well,
it's
I
a simple
think,
plan.
yeah.
Go ahead, Donnie. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, I think what's great about the 2Connect model is that even though we want to understand the comp plan, which is why we're asking you about this, building a team, one time, will cover just about any mistake a person might go through and miss, because that team takes care of what makes people usually fail. And what makes people usually fail is they have no ability to build that team. So this is going to help build that team, and then you don't have to micromanage every little aspect about the comp plan, you know, and put all your energy there and not put your energy on creating your community. So this is great.
I do feel that it's important for you to have some understanding of the compensation plan when you just start to build your team. Because when you retrofit a 3x5 matrix or a unilevel or a hybrid, even a hybrid binary into a force 2x2 matrix, some people are disappointed, Dottie, when they find out that, hey, this person, I thought he or she was on my team, but in reality, when everything is pushed forward and retrofitted into the force 2x2 matrix, you find out, alas, that they're not. I think that's a point for another day, but certainly part of the 2Connect University to give people a clear understanding about it without really getting too involved. But it's the fundamental principle is important, I think.
Absolutely, no doubt about it.
In addition to the $50 level, what we want to do is give people a really good advantage to grow their income in a sustainable manner and in large enough numbers where they didn't have to go and bring in hundreds or thousands of people into their teams. And also we want to make it where you should be able to grow out of profit instead of out of your pocket. So for folks who have available income, sure, they can come in at a higher level from the beginning, and that's a good thing. For folks who don't, it's very easy to build this out of profit because you're getting 100% commission, and with the pass-ups, basically, if you bring 3 people into your frontline team, meaning your 2 that 2Connect recommends, and then just bring 2 more essentially, if you do that, you not only covered your costs, but now you're in profit entirely, and you're going to start being able to have the income you need to either scale up within the MIG environment or diversify into the other companies as well, either one. But with our compensation plan, because you get 100% commission and you essentially cover your entire personal funnel costs with your very first person in, we have many people who come in all in, as it's called, which is at the $350 level, which sounds like a big number for people who are not perhaps used to having that kind of a number in mind when they join a company. But then again, you bring one person in, you get the full $350 back, you're only out of pocket was $24.95, but now you have a recurring income of $350 per month. And then your team, essentially, if they follow that path with you, all the money stays with you. I mean, anyone who comes at that level, if they have 30 people who are essentially on their front line or making payments direct to them at 100% commission, you're already close to about $10,000 a month in income with just 30 people. So it's a very powerful mechanism to build that kind of environment. And again, everyone can go at their own pace. We encourage that they grow out of profit, preferably, because that confidence in that this works, they're getting money in their pocket, and with that success story in hand, it's so much easier for them to not hope it'll work for someone else, but be able to show how it works. And to your point, Roger, it'll work for them not by studying the details of the funnel system and the technology and etc., but rather doing a simple job of bringing people to the funnels, letting the traffic do its work, and either picking up the phone to follow up or using a telemarketing service to follow up for you. So
the thing about the commissions, Dennis, is let's say that somebody comes in and you have not upgraded to the highest level, because it's like 3 separate companies almost within. So if you're only at the $50 level and somebody below comes in at the $350, that money will roll past you, correct?
That's correct. I mean, there's a very strong fear of loss built into the compensation plan, precisely because people who are looking to really make an income, they tend to watch carefully the money flow. And if they're seeing that money's about to pass them by, or perhaps even pass them by once before, they don't want to experience that again because they did the work to bring someone in initially. And simply because they didn't take the step of upgrading early enough to have someone pass them by, it's a lesson learned that gets them very quickly to upgrade. And then everyone benefits from that approach because now they're all seeing there's real money flowing through here. I don't want the money flowing past me. I want it to flow into my account. So I think people with that have a very strong incentive to look at this as a business. It is not something you just sit back and let it run. You actually build a business in a leisurely manner, but it's a true business with a true income.
And this is going to be happening more and more because as the 2Connect marketing machine rolls forward, bringing in visitors and sponsored members that we get as a part of our membership package, depending on what level we're at, and then combined with the traffic, the funnels, the ring-a-ding on the phone follow-up, I mean, that is some components coming together that I just think about it as combustion. You know, there's going to be some good fireworks happening. And, you know, we know that we launched on March 3rd, and it's been a process getting things in place. But my goodness, the things I'm listening to, and I know the things we're going to have in Columbus that are going to be announced, I'll tell you, it's got my attention. I'm not going anywhere. I'm sticking right here, and that's my story. Yeah. So anything else you can share? Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, Roger, go ahead.
I think since you brought it up, thanks, Dottie, I wanted to take this opportunity to invite everyone to Columbus, Ohio for a 2Connect Summit.
Yeah.
Even though this isn't a corporate sponsored thing, it was supposed to just be a little do, and now people are coming from all over North America. And we will have representatives from the network marketing companies there. We will have President David Griffiths flying in from Utah there. Dennis, who you are listening to or watching on the Hangout, will be there. Cheryl, whose picture you see there. She said to send her regards. She can hear everything, but
good.
her computer's having a temper tantrum. But so we're really, and there'll be unbelievable announcements made there, as well as a chance to really meet each other. Dottie will meet each other for the first time. Dennis, we can network and really let people get their finger on the pulse of what we're doing with 2Connect as we plow this road and create a future for people that heretofore was non-existent. And so I'm proud to be part of that. I know that you are too. So thanks for allowing me to plug the May 3rd 2Connect Summit event at the Hilton Hotel in Columbus at the Columbus Easton Hilton. There are 3 Hilton hotels in Columbus, so if you're flying in, make sure you go to the Columbus Easton Hilton. Thanks, Dottie.
Oh, yeah, that's great, Roger. It's going to be an exciting time because a lot of us have never met in person. And, you know, that date's going to be really special to us. We're never going to forget that, to you know, actually sit with one another. We feel like we know each other, and we do. And, you know, just to kind of add real quick, what's so great about MIG is that 2Connect is all about high tech and high touch. Dennis, you're providing that high tech component. But the idea is not so that we can avoid people. In fact, it's actually the opposite. Your filtering system is enabling us to actually connect with people in a better way, and I guarantee you when we do that, we're going to be flying and meeting those people in person in the future. So it's just an unbelievable system that we have our hands on. So as we wind up here, Dennis, what else could you tell us about MIG, the comp plan, anything people should know about how to move forward if they're already in 2Connect? What advice, what tips would you give to them?
I think the primary thing is to treat this like a business. It is a business. That's what you're going after here. I mean, everyone has their own why. Everyone knows what gets them motivated to do something above and beyond, what keeps them busy throughout the regular day. So it's not necessarily a question, do you have a why, but really comes down to okay, now what do I have to do to make that happen? And then, you know, or how can I make that come to be something that's true and valid for me? So I think people need to be able to look at this as a true business, give it the level of commitment that they can, and be diligent with their day-to-day efforts. Sign up into 2Connect, come into a paid membership level, go to the trainings, bring people to the events, and as Roger would say very little to very many, right? Let the systems do its work, But no matter how active you are on those levels, if you don't actually sign up for a company, you're not going to make any income. You're here for multiple streams of income, and that means multiple, signing up for more than one company. So you got to do that as quickly as you can. Find the best path that fits you, whether it be a MIG or My Network 1 or CyberWealth 7. Pick whatever vehicle fits you best, but ultimately you're going to be in all 3 and all 4 and all 10, and as many companies come in later, you're going to be in all of them anyway. You want to diversify your portfolio. You want to bring in multiple streams. So we just got to get to work and keep the story very, very simple. Leverage the technology, and as you said right now, Donnie, we have to go with a high-touch mentality. This is not a full automation, don't have to speak to anyone, I'm a nameless, faceless entity. That's not going to be working because you don't want income, you want sustainable income.
Yes.
Right? And that requires relationships.
Absolutely. And so it's just really exciting that we finally have something in our hands that is going to offer a sustainable model, you know, because 2Connect is actually geared to hold up to 500 million people. 500 million, it's almost mind-boggling. But we want something for the future that's going to be here, and as Dr. Roger Boger says, say less to more people. So, Roger, as we end it here, say less to more people. What's your last comment?
Hey, here's my last comment. You want one of these? Come to Ohio.
There you go. Get your 2Connect pin. I love it. Hey, thank you, Roger, for doing what you do with the PLC, and Dennis, thank you again for creating one of the most amazing systems I've had the opportunity to be involved with. And I'm going to keep refining my my funnels because, you know, if your funnel is not doing what you want it to do, maybe you need to tweak your message if you're doing custom ones out there. I know that, Dennis, you're going to make sure that our 2Connect funnels, our done-for-you funnels, are doing exactly what they need to do. And the other ones, we're all going to be learning, and we're going to be learning together, and that's what's great. We've got a community who has one another's back and is going to be really creating as much support as we can on an ongoing basis. So thank you for being a part. Anything else you want to say, Dennis, before we close this baby out?
Well, we're going to be having some hangouts that'll be training in nature. So if you want to coordinate some of those with the teams that are asking for that help, let's do that. We want to make sure everyone has the resources in hand that they need. Now, the 2Connect funnels, yes, we're going to help orchestrate those so they have a very specific message and signed off with compliance. As far as the funnels that are outside of that, let's set up some sessions as well, because there are certain guidelines that will help people have more productivity, better results out of it, and take a lot of the experimentation out of that as well. So let's get together and have some sessions where we can really walk everyone through how to get those things up and running fast, how to measure the statistics, and how to squeeze the most you can out of them. And by the way, you'll see some other tools at the event we're going to have on the 3rd. But there's a lot you can do with these funnels that'll help you build a library that you can tap into and then offer to your members as well as an extra bonus for working with you.
Wow, that's great. Thank you so much, Dennis. Thank you, Roger. And thank you, Cheryl. You're still looking beautiful, and I look forward to seeing you in Columbus, all of you. Thanks again, everybody. Bye.
Thank you, guys.
Now. Okay, bye-bye.
Have a good night.